Hi, everybody, and welcome to We Believe in Comics Friday night workshops here at SAW. I'm Fake Tom tonight, which is why we're having a little um, some technical issues. SAW is a 501c3 nonprofit with online courses at learn.sawcomics.org. Things are coming up. The big graphic novel development intensive is happening very, very soon. It's amazing. I've been through it 1.5 times. And next week we have Finn McCabe with icons, patterns, and textures. I was at his last Friday Night Comics workshop and it was amazing. And yeah, that graphic novel development intensive, if you're itching to start and don't know where to start, check out this course. It is transformative. It's not just the teachers and the prompts and the materials to help you going, but it's the community and being in a group of cohorts all striving towards a common goal. It's a really amazing experience. I think that was from the previous draft that I forgot to delete. Yeah, you can find out about the graphic novel intensive and more at learn.sawcomics.org. Also check out the Seesaw Comics, especially this thing, The Pursuit of Unhappiness Sesame. Um, and we also have on Seesaw Comics a section for work we do at Friday Night Comics. Check the chat for links. I'll be posting all those links into chat. We survive from tuitions and donations from people like you. If you donated tonight, thank you. It helps pay our guest artists. It helps fund tuition for scholarships for people in need. And you can support us at PayPal or our Patreon account, or consider becoming a sustaining member. And join us for free anytime at the Saw sharing site, members.sawcomics.org. That's where the community happens. Lots of free stuff going on all the time. Please no inappropriate speech or image. I mean, you, Michael. No trolling or hate speech or explicit language. Thank you. Keep it PG-13 when in doubt. And try to enjoy yourself. And tonight we have Dana with Exploring Your Comfort Zone Using Comics. I hand it over to you, Dana.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. Okay, so I'm just going to share my presentation. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming. So my name is Dana. I am a proud SAW alumni. I was at their low residency back in 2016, which was really amazing. If you haven't taken a class yet, please do so. And I'm actually going to pause 1 second. I did not present. Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay, we're good now. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, about a little bit about me. I'm a contributor to the New Yorker Shouts and Murmurs. I've been doing that since about 2018. And last year I published a book called Skip to the Fun Parts, Cartoons and Complaints about the Creative Process. And this is an advice-free book about what it just feels like to create artwork. And it's available wherever books are sold. If you want to get a copy, I'd be delighted. And if you already have a copy, if you want to leave a review or tell a friend, that would also be amazing. But yeah, so I'm just going to dive into this and talk about what I think when I think of the comfort zone, which generally gets a very bad rap. I'm currently taking an improv class, and obviously, if you're in an improv class, the comfort zone is the bad place. And a lot of times when it comes up, it's just like something to avoid. And it makes sense because you can't live your life entirely within your comfort zone. That would be boring, and that would probably mean you're not there's something you should be doing that you're not. I'm sure many of you here probably aren't in your comfort zone right now. Maybe you are. But by the same token, I think it's hard to work and get things done if you aren't at some level comfortable. I don't think people are great with living in states of discomfort. I know I'm definitely not. Because I think at some point we're all wired to fall back on the path of least resistance. Um, I'm not sure how many of you guys like to run, but I think that's a really great metaphor for how a lot of this works. So if you ever want to become a runner, or if you do run, I think the main thing to keep in mind is that like 80 to 90% of your runs have to be like completely easy, like slow pace, take walk breaks when you need to. You essentially just have to make it so that running isn't like this horrible torture you're doing for yourself. It has to be essentially just not something that you're going to avoid because it's so uncomfortable. And I think art works the same way a lot of times. You can't just always be trying to do something challenging. Anyway, and I really love this quote by Megan Daum, who's an essayist, and this essay is about how she rejects being a foodie, even though it's very popular. But it talks a lot of mostly about the comfort zone, and I'll just read it out loud. The key to contentment is to live life to the fullest within the confines of your comfort zone. Stay in safe waters, but plunge as deeply into them as possible. If you're good at something, do it a lot. If you're bad at something, just don't do it. Um, and this is another quote from the same essay that I thought was relevant. And I'll just read out loud. The comfort zone has many upsides. It may be associated with sloth and cowardice, but I'm convinced that when handled responsibly, the comfort zone can be as useful and productive as a well-oiled industrial zone. I'm convinced that excellence comes from not overcoming limitations, but from embracing them. So my philosophy personally is to not ditch the comfort zone entirely. It's that we can kind of travel back and forth between the comfort zone, between like maybe the comfort zone and what we can call like the uncomfortable zone or the scary zone. And I think diving more into what makes us comfortable versus uncomfortable is just a really interesting question as artists, especially, and maybe just as people. So just speaking of overcoming limitations, this is a quote from my favorite New Yorker cartoonist, Saul Steinberg, which is, "What you respond to in any work of art is the artist's struggle against his or her limitations." Okay, so just diving in a bit. So how many people have sat in front of a blank sheet of paper and just felt super intimidated? Show of hands. Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if like anybody didn't raise a hand. Um, so what you do if you're in the situation is you try to give yourself some parameters. Um, so a lot of times we make a nice little grid. You know, put things in order, give yourself 12 panels. And maybe that's actually a little scarier because instead of a blank page, you're looking at essentially 12 blank pages. But it's also organized. It's a limit of some kind. You know, there's little borders. You can only draw so big, depending on what you're doing. And I think that's kind of how we see a comfort zone. It's like this ultimate place of protection where we feel safe and able to, you know, not have to do anything that makes us uneasy. And for me personally, I think we all probably have an example of something that we just feel super comfortable drawing or keep going back to over and over again. For me, it's fish. I talk about this a bit in my book, but I am very weirdly comfortable drawing fish. Like if I don't know what to draw, I will always go back to a fish. If I don't know like how to draw a person doing something, like playing a violin or walking a dog, if I do a fish doing it, for somehow I can always kind of make that make sense. And I don't know why that is, but I think all of you guys probably have something similar to that. Maybe it's even from when you were a kid and you knew how to, you know, you did like a really mean Garfield drawing or something along those lines. Anyway, so just to start our first exercise, we're going to make a map of our comfort zone. So I did this before ahead of time for the little promo for the class, but we're going to take a piece of paper and draw a little map. Sea monsters are optional. So here, I'm going to start sharing my other account so you can follow along. 1 second.
Do you want to stop sharing and I'll spotlight your other
Yeah,
channel?
actually that would be good. One second. Stop share this and oh yeah, here we are.
Um, can you, oh, there you are.
Yeah. Actually, okay, here we go. I'll turn off my video for a second so you can just see my table. Should not be distracted. Okay.
So we're drawing a map like a continent or island shape.
Yeah, one second. I'll get this going. Okay, yeah. So take a piece of paper. Yeah, and you're gonna draw like a little shape of what you want your map to be. And this can be in a rectangle or, whatever shape makes sense to you at the time. So I'm just gonna do like a little islandy kind of curvy thing here. And then draw a line dividing it where it makes sense to you. So on the left side, we're gonna say this is the comfort zone. And on the right, that is the scary zone, or whatever you want to call it. Comfort zone, scary, or uncomfortable zone, scary zone, ability zone, choose a synonym. And from there, I want you to start putting things that make you comfortable on the left-hand side and uncomfortable on the right-hand side. Um, and this is a spectrum, obviously. So if there's something that kind of like you feel like you can go in and out of, put it right at the border. Like for me, that would be diary comics. Like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, diary comics, great. Other times they're like, yeah, these are kind of weird. And I feel vulnerable. So that might be on the more on the border. You can also add some sea monsters if you want, but totally optional. I'm just always doing that because they're fun. Uh, but yeah, so let's spend a few minutes doing this. And remember, they don't have to necessarily be like objects or animals or stuff. It can be like concepts or materials. Like maybe you've always been intimidated by, working digital or working in, I don't know, some kind of pen or, talking about family or basically anything that makes you a little nervous. Just put it on the list on the right-hand side.
A couple of people are asking, is this just pertaining to comics or life or both?
I think it could be both. I mean, I think since we're in a comic workshop, let's stick to more visual stuff. But I think if there's something in life that's, you're think a lot about, put it on. I don't think we should limit ourselves here. So for me, definitely on the scary zone, I am putting cars because I cannot draw a car to save my life. I don't know what it is. I hate driving. That might have something to do with it. Um, and perspective drawing is always kind of skeeved me out.
It's like we're making the same list, you know.
Seriously? Oh man,
Yeah.
maybe everybody just has the same fears. Or maybe if you just like don't like drawing cars, perspective is always gonna be uncomfortable. I mean, you could draw whatever if you want to draw like on the map itself, like you can do little mountains or whatever embellishments make sense to you. Like I said, I'm kind of going to town with sea monsters and maybe on the comfortable zone, there's like sea turtles and dolphins, all the non-scary animals. Okay. And writing for audiences, I think I'm getting a little better with that, but generally kind of makes me uncomfortable. So I'm putting it kind of on this end. Okay. And my comfort zone, well, obviously fish drawing. So that's over here, far on the left. And then I really like drawing borders. Isn't like, I don't know, giving myself like a nice grid and then drawing around the grid. I feel like that's one of my safe spaces. And I'm gonna also put inaccurate looking buildings that do not require perspective.
And if something's in the middle, put it right on the line.
Yeah, right on the line, you can give it like, you know, if it's kind of veers more towards scary, put it there. But yeah, if it's like smack dab in the middle, just put it right in the middle. I'm putting Procreate in the.
We're listing, Christina's asking, are we listing, not drawing yet? But you can draw comfortable things like,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want to like illustrate your map with, um, uh, yeah, please do so. And draw the dolphin here. I think grids make me pretty comfortable, generally speaking, and working small.
what about hands?
Oh, drawing hands?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm smack in the middle for hands. But yeah, I think that, yeah, hands are pretty intimidating, generally speaking. What's nice about hands though is you have like a model on hand, like no pun intended. Like you can always kind of look at your hand and be like, oh, okay, that's how fingers work. Um, Stuff like cars, I don't, you're gonna have to find photo reference or something. So okay. All right. So anyone want to start sharing their maps? Who's feeling brave?
you can just raise your virtual hand if you want to share. See Gabriel.
Oh, I think he's muted.
You're still muted. I think I will come back to Gabriel.
Okay.
I see Teresa.
Hi, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, do I need to describe it? Sorry.
Yeah, this is great.
Scary zone is improv. You made me think I just improv.
Oh yeah. Really
But my comfort zone is stand-up comedy. I love doing that. I hate doing group exercise. I don't like drawing likenesses. Like I can draw people, but I don't want anyone to expect them to look like anything. Drawing realistic architecture freaks me out. Drawing hands and feet, I'm kind of in the middle. I love doing diary comics and oversharing. I love editing jokes. I love walking. I love drawing eyeball flowers and drawing octopi. And Procreate, I'm in the middle, and Photoshop, I'm like, that's all I've written so far.
That's great. I love your octopus with like the giant eye and the lips.
I draw those all the time. I don't know what that is.
I can see why they're in your comfort zone. Oh, thanks, Teresa. Okay, anyone else want to share?
Gabriel, did you want to give it a try again?
You hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good. Okay, hang on. Well, now I got to turn the video back on. All right. It gave me some time to think about some more things that I didn't add. So let's see, what did I do here? In the comfort zone, I have, sorry if it's kind of small.
No.
In the comfort zone, I have funny animals, big bellied characters, cartoony art, funny stuff, and OCs, like, my own original characters. In the scary zone, I'm sure there's a lot more, but the ones that came to mind were human characters, traditional art, committing to one project, and one-shot pieces.
What do you mean by one-shot piece?
Meaning something that like doesn't need outside context for other people to understand.
Mm,
Like, oh, I don't know this character, or oh, I don't know this story, or oh, I don't know this subject. This is kind of a niche subject. Um, I'm used to playing to, so to speak, playing to such a small crowd that like anything that I feel is outside of that, I'm always worried like, are they going to get this? Is
mhm,
this going to be too honest? Is this going to make people uncomfortable?
mhm. Yeah, no, I totally get that. Yeah, because that's definitely a thing you can't control your audience, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
it's just gonna be scary no matter what you do. Well, thank you. This is a great list. I appreciate it. And anyone else want to share?
Yeah, we have a few more volunteers. I see Nicholas.
Hey, so for mine, I've noticed that mine over the, I guess like over like the 2 years I've been enjoying has been, it's fluctuated a lot. So, for mine, I would say my comfort zone, I like to do fan art a lot. I do love to do sketches. Stylistic drawing is definitely something that, I do quite a bit. I'm kind of guilty of that. You know how like if you like when you start your art journey and like I guess like you don't really I guess like to draw realistically, like your art teacher is telling you to draw one way, but like you really like drawing another way. Yeah, like it's kind of a habit that I'm forcing myself to break.
Yeah,
Um, I love to draw Dragon Ball. I did drew like a Super Saiyan Goku right there.
great.
Um, Procreate is the art program that I have the most hands-on experience with. Let's see. I also like to draw sympathetic characters. Like a lot of my OCs, or like I guess like two of my OCs are I guess kind of just simple but appealing. I'm working towards having more detailed characters in the near future though. But in the scary zone, we have cars. I can't draw a car to save my life.
Hear you. Yep.
Um, Hatching, that's something that, I'm familiar with in the comic the graphic novel and comic media, but like I still have to learn how to do that. Buildings, that's something that I'm still pretty unfamiliar with. Water, I can't really draw good looking water, I'll be honest. Um, Detailing characters, that's something that can be a pretty big issue for me at times. And clothing folds, that's something else that's pretty hard for me too. And in the gray area, I have perspective drawing. I've been practicing this, so I'm not as bad at it as I used to be, but it can still be a tricky area for me. Um, Writing for an audience, like as an aspiring writer, I like to have a lot of feedback on my work, but sometimes the perfectionist in me, kind of makes me have a bit of a hard time sharing like what my message is.
Mhm.
And panel making, I'm familiar with that, but like as for making I guess like panels that sort of guide the reader through the story, that's I still have to learn how to do that effectively. Clip Studio Paint, I've had that for about a year now. I still don't really feel like I know entirely what I'm doing with that site. There's so much stuff to do in it, but yeah, it's really good for making comics. And last but not least, hands is in between for me. I've gotten better at that, and studying, I guess, just art in general. That's something that can, either be really easy or really hard depending on how your mood is. But yeah, try to at least be consistent with it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, this is great. It's interesting, really, how many people have like the same stuff in the scary zone. Like, I guess nobody puts writing for audiences in the comfort zone unless you're a certain type of person. You're probably not a cartoonist, right? But yeah, this is a great list. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, let's go to I guess there's a lot of people. Michael, you wanna?
Yeah, maybe we have time just for one more.
Okay.
How about Lorna Justin? Oh, wait. I have to unmute mute you first. Hang on one second. Ask to unmute. There we go. You should receive like a little prompt to unmute. Did you get that? You're still muted. There we go.
All right, good. Well, I don't have a real long list here, but I did, well, I'll be darned, it's backwards. How about that? Is there a way to fix that?
No, no, it looks correct to us. I guess just to you, it looks backwards. So I see in your comfort zone, it says drawing humor comics, scary zone.
What it is the comfort zone is drawing humor comics, which is what I've always done.
Mhm.
That's my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of little cartoons. And the scary stuff is trying to draw realistic
Mhm.
is that's pretty tricky for me. I can do it, but I prefer not to.
I hear that.
And the other thing is perspective, which a lot of people have mentioned, and that takes a lot of practice. I'm older, but I have been practicing, but still struggle with that.
Yeah.
And then digital, I don't really get into too much digital. I do have Procreate, haven't used it a lot, but that is another area that's a little tough for me. But other than that, that's about it, and there's the comfort zone. There was probably other things I could have written down, but mainly my interest in humor and doing humor comics was, I think I started in 1997 doing small press comics, so I've been doing it for a while.
Okay, so you've had time to get pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
That's about it for me.
No, that's great. Yeah, and it's so I guess nobody just comes out of the box feeling comfortable with perspective. I thought there were certain cartoonists there who were like, oh yeah, well, that's all I want to do, but maybe not. Maybe it's it's always going to start, we're just not going to naturally gravitate towards that. Well, thank you for sharing. That's a great list. We might have time for one more. Or do you think we should move on? Michael, I'll leave it to you.
I think, yeah, it's getting a little late. I mean, I can show you mine real quick.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
But only, I'm not going to spotlight, but only to say it was interesting that it was pretty even. I thought I would
Yeah.
have 5 million things in the scary zone and like 2 in the comfort zone. But
Wait,
when
can
I
you put that
actually
up again?
started
I didn't get a
committing,
look at it.
all right.
I mean, only if you're comfortable, of course.
No, it's fine. Let's see. Um,
Oh yeah, no.
but I had a lot of similar ones to you. Cars perspective, architecture.
Yeah.
But as I've been like working more on backgrounds, it's easing a little bit out of the scary zone
Yeah.
and feeling a little more comfortable. Same with hands and feet. So
Yeah, no, then you got like a nice healthy comfort zone too, which is awesome. And I love your sea animals on the borders. Those
it
are
was
great.
easier to draw scary ones than friendly
Yeah,
ones.
I know, right? Like it's kind of hard to draw like
A mermaid and a dolphin, I thought.
yeah, that's maybe a turtle. Yeah, that's about all you get. Okay, cool. All right, so I think we'll go on to our prompts now. So now that we've all got our maps, oh wait, can you guys, I'll have to share again, 1 second.
Oh, do we want your other camera?
Oh, no, you can do my, wait, am I, 1 second. Okay. Okay, good. All right, so now I'm putting the prompts on the screen. Okay, so now we have our maps. We're gonna just use those as a starting point. So I think if we had more time, I'd force us to do all of these, but since we only have about another hour, I think we're gonna just have a dealer's choice, whatever you feel comfortable with. So you can draw a cartoon using only items in your comfort zone. You can draw a cartoon using only items in your scary zone. Or you can mix and match, take something from your comfort zone and scary zone and combine them into one. Or you can do a grid and just draw items in either your scary zone or your comfort zone. So let's take a couple minutes to do that and share the results.
So now, Dana, somebody said in surprise an hour. I don't. I think that we
We're
have
ending at 8?
a 90-minute slot, but we usually wrap between 8 and 8:15.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
So that said, is there a way to condense this maybe into a 4-panel exercise?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think yeah, if you want to do something Yeah, basically choose one and within the time constraints, do something that you think you could finish and share if you're so inclined. But yeah, 4 panels is totally fine.
Because yeah, this sounds like it could be done in 4 panels. One, two, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do we want to give people like um 4 minutes for each one, something like that, to keep people on track?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
do you
that's a
want
good
to leave
idea.
it loose?
Um, let's see. I think, should we vote on it? Like, would you guys like, do you know which one immediately you want to do, or would you rather like try all of them?
I think if people do 4 panels, they should try to do, they could do one prompt in each panel, couldn't they?
Yeah, let's do that. I like that.
And I will set 4 minute intervals.
Okay.
Um, so people who don't like time constraints can just ignore me, and people who do, I'll give you the 4 minutes starting now for the first one.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we all have time constraints in our comfort zone. Orderly, right?
It's right in the middle for me.
Kind of depends on the project.
I have to refer to my map. Um, so we're at the 2 minute midpoint of the first panel.
Thinking a lot about like Richard Scarry and how, like, the cars that you see on Richard Scarry cartoons, which is like a car that's shaped like a piece of corn and a car that's shaped like an apple. And I was like, that might be just the best way to handle cars. Like, take something you can draw, add wheels, and then you get you know, and then you get your car. Maybe Richard Scarry also hated drawing cars. That was how that came about.
And I think about Wally Wood, who said it's okay to trace.
That's an excellent point. Tracing is a great way to learn.
That is the first 4 minutes. If you want to move on to the second panel. Shit.
Michael, where are we on time?
We, on the second panel, we got about 27 seconds left.
Okay, great.
I'm trying to draw a car. It's the most pathetic car ever.
Oh yeah,
drawn.
we can do like a car off. All the people on cars can compare notes at the end of this.
Also, it looks like a car from the 1950s. Apparently, that's what's in my head.
Yeah, no, with a little, yeah, they're kind of they're curvier, which is or like they have more
Yeah.
like you'd have more purchase with the drawing, right? Like there's like the headlights that are more distinctive and the top and the yeah, I can see how that would be a little easier, the drawing like a modern car.
Okay, so if you're ready to move on to the third panel, we're starting another 4 minutes. Actually, you know what? I'll set it in 2 minute intervals so I can give people the exact midpoint. Yeah, I find like most inanimate objects I have trouble with. And geometry.
Yeah.
anything that involves geometry.
Hmm. Yeah, the stuff you can't like kind of fudge is always tricky because, there's certain stuff that's like always it's always going to come across as a as what it is without being precise, but like there's certain objects that you really just need that. I don't know. It needs to read as what it is.
But you know, I mean, what's made a huge difference for me in my work is, and that's why this workshop is so apropos for me, is I've gotten more comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mhm. Yeah, once you like label it as like, oh, this is my uncomfortable place, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't try it. I think it's just helpful to kind of like label these figure out like where you stand. And yeah, if you're something intimidates you, just name it and go after it.
Oh, I forgot to move on to the third panel. That's so hung up with that car. All right, that's the midpoint of third panel. So you have 2 more minutes for the third panel. These are great prompts.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like them.
It's like taking Linus's blanket skydiving, something that makes you comfortable using it as the parachute.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna take that line. Yeah, if I had, I think we should do a poll of just like see how many, because now I'm so curious like what's on people's scary zones versus comfort zones because I feel like there's going to be so much overlap between them all, and some are just going to be like divided half and half.
Okay, that was the total 4 minutes for panel 3. So we're starting panel 4. If you want to follow along or just do your own thing. Okay. So that's all 16 minutes for 4 panels.
Okay.
Um,
Well, thanks for keeping us on track. Yeah, but I can't wait to see what folks came up with.
yeah, so people can keep drawing if they want to, but we'll start sharing for those who want to share. I think you just, if you stop sharing your screen, um, Dana, then I can see who's raising their hands.
1 second.
Just because it's not always easy doesn't mean it always has to be hard.
Oh yeah, that was what the my favorite quote from my one of the running coaches that I like listening to. But I just wanted to leave with that. But anyway,
That's nice. Yeah.
all right, so I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, so go ahead.
All right. Oh, I see some hands up. Now I see Justin still up. Was that from before, or do you want to share what you did now? Okay. Ask to unmute. Hey.
Okay. I've seen rushed, but this is what I did. First one, it says bend over. That's my humor panel. And the next panel was supposed to be what scares you. So I drew Frankenstein. He scares me. And then I went down here and I did the mix of realistic and humor, a little quick sketch. I was really going, I think I went faster than I needed to. But anyway, and then the last panel, perspective, digital art, just a guy running there, and then a big question mark because I didn't know what else to do. So that's mine.
That's great. The guy's hat coming off as he's running is a very nice detail.
Thanks for sharing. I see Teresa.
Okay, let me see. Oops. Okay, the things that I love, I combined an octopus and cooking, very comfortable. And things that I hate. Oh my God, yoga. I'm trying so hard. I'm even doing chair yoga, but I'm like, oh my God, my boobs. Oh my God, my ankles. Oh my God, my ribs. And then things that I am very comfortable is drawing octopus and maybe doing, and then the uncomfortable is yoga. And I love swimming and I love being in water and swimming in water. So yeah, I guess there are other ways to swim than water. And then the last one, I didn't do a grid. I guess I thought the whole thing was a grid. But anyway, the last one is just eyeball flowers and octopus.
That's beautiful. Oh, I love those.
Thank you. Thanks. I love the prompts. They're very fun.
Oh, thanks, Teresa.
Thanks,
Yeah, I think
Teresa.
yeah, those are great octopi.
I see Delaney.
Hi. I ended up just doing the like third prompt spoke to me. So I ended up doing the mix of scary and like comfortable and uncomfortable. And that led to me drawing the perspective of me public speaking, which is terrifying, as you can tell with all my ums right now. And in front of like an audience of all the things that are in my comfort zone. So you got like, ironically, snacking was a big part of my comfort zone. So there's pizza, cookies, cheese, cereal. And then I love drawing mugs and like drinks. So like there's a wine glass, a coffee cup, and I like drawing doors and windows. So there's a door, there's a window, and wonky people is one of my comfort zone things. So there's a couple wonky people in there. And then flower doodles is always just like a standby comfort. So there's some flowers in there and a little bird, and then a wonky basketball, but usually I can draw them a lot better. I think I put myself on the spot. But yeah, and then I had the idea to do some like comforting notes to myself as the speaker. So like, you're loved. No one is mad at you. Remember to breathe, smile. You can do this. Yeah. So this
This
is
is
a great
beautiful.
prompt. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. This is a really great interpretation of just like, making that divide and just putting the everything just like looking back at you. I love that. Um, yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I see David next. And I apologize. I've done a crappy job at monitoring chat because I got so absorbed in doing the exercise.
Hi. So I had a lot of things on my map here, mostly good things, only a few scary things. So I decided to make a story out of public speaking, everybody's favorite bad thing, earthquake, bugs, and falling. So I took four things and I made this kind of crude, but so he's doing public speaking. Suddenly there's an earthquake, things are falling on his head, he's falling down, and then he's attacked by a bug.
Just going from bad to worse.
That's it.
That's great.
Nice. Jackie.
Oh, I did the four panel thing. I didn't really buck the system. So there's me in my comfort zone, playing to the audience, drawing the funny with good old ink and paper, and there's some fish jumping over my head.
I like
The
That's great.
duty, because I know that it would be an easy laugh. And then this is the scary one. Oh my God, can't show this to anyone. It's me trying to draw a hand with subtle, shading and all that. And then this is a combination of comfort zone and scary. Drawing anything to represent a period piece, like there's a certain artist I know, and in his comics, he can draw something into like you automatically get that it's a 1920s nightgown. Hanging on all, and like I can't do that without drawing an arrow that says 1920s nightgown. So a cat and a three-cornered hat. My hat, it has three corners. You're singing a little song, and if it did not have three corners, it would not be my hat. And then it's got the 19 well, I was going to say 1776, but those of us who are old enough to remember 1976, he like the swag from that. And then this is just the combination of everything. Procreate. I had some extra space there, so I just drew a centipede. And this is perspective and the basement going on.
Oh yeah, no, perfect.
Knitting and I love knitting, but I suck at drawing hands. So, there you have it.
I gotta say, I think that hand's pretty good. Like I think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's great. I was surprised that was in your scary zone. I thought that was that's pretty solid.
Oh wow, thank you. Cool. Thanks. This was fun.
I
Yeah.
thought the same thing. I love the hand.
Thank you.
I see Christian and Lindsay with their hands up, but their cameras are off, so I can't go to them yet. But Nicholas,
Yeah. So, funny thing, I kind of misinterpreted the prompt. So like I ended up doing like an entire I ended up doing like four panels for each prompt. So I only had time to do three. But okay, so like for my first one, just trust living in your comfort zone, I decided to make a sympathetic character. So basically just no, I'm not sure if you can see. It's like camera's a little blurry, but yeah, it's a little girl who sees that she's that like she wants to go to a candy shop, so she goes to the candy shop and then she just she gets a lollipop. So yeah. Um, Second one, I ended up drawing something that's out of my comfort zone, so perspective drawing and cars. So yeah, like I didn't really have time to make like a very detailed car, but I did draw from like a memory of this like when I was like really little. my mom would like, always take me like, like through a tunnel and like, I would just basically just really enjoy it for whatever reason. Yeah, I was just like really fond of tunnels back then. So yeah, it was kind of fun to draw that. And then for number three, combining something both from my comfort zone and out of the comfort zone. So like I basically just I was like, I decided to just redraw a scene from the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball. So yeah, I included just I guess some more detailed characters and some shading around both the characters and the environment. So yeah, I guess I wanted to make it like like more cinematic because that's kind of what the anime is about. But yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Mhm.
Yeah, the contrast of everything is no, it's fun to see.
Thanks for sharing that.
Michael, we should have a like just a saw workshop about drawing cars. I feel like we get a lot of
Cars and hands.
cars in hands, like the whole workshop.
That would be awesome.
Exactly.
Christian, your camera's off, so I'm gonna go to Lindsay.
Okay, so I decided to do mine with like one of my stories that I came up with. Let's see if you can see it. Oh, dang it, it's backwards, but so you can't see what it
We can see
says.
it properly. It's good.
Yeah, it's forward
But bas-
slides.
basically for the first, because I thought we were doing a comic. I thought that's what we were doing. So my character's saying, "Oh yeah, let's do something fun." And like she's in a simple pose, which is something that I like to do, and she's very like cartoony. And and then in the second one, I tried to do realistic, and you can see how that turned out. Um but yeah, she's listing off things they can do. And then in the fourth one, I tried to draw a background, but I didn't have enough time to do the trees. And basically, these guys are saying that like, they're just like being pessimistic and annoying, and they don't want to do the stuff. And then in the fourth one, I got bored and I just not got bored. I I lost inspiration and just she's just like, you guys, you guys are no fun.
Oh, this is great.
Thanks.
It's so funny. I don't know if you noticed this too, Dana, but like Jackie didn't like her hand and Lindsay didn't like her realistic drawing. And I thought, oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, same. Yeah, we're so bad judges of our own work. I don't know why that is.
Because I think we're seeing what we wanted to do instead of what we did do, and everybody else is seeing what we did accomplish.
Yeah, exactly. And like the maybe the extra effort we did because we thought we like knew we had this weakness, so we put a little more oomph into it, but that actually does come across.
Christian, are you ready? You should have an unmute prompt. There you go.
Yes, thank you. So I've been thinking about my prompts for a bit. And so what I wrote was, I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you probably can't see them, but what I did write was for the comfort side, I wrote sketching and procreate, and it's some of them that are significant to what I did for the comic. For my comic is sketching and procreate, but I also did write filming, photography, movies, exercise, stitching, organization, humor. For the scary side, I wrote unforeseen obstacles and not having enough information, issues with computer editing in any program. Those are significant. There's also bad influences and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. All right. About the comic. I don't know if you can read it, but it says right here, first comic. Phew! I'm done drawing. Now time to edit on my computer. Wait, what if I end up experiencing issues with the computer again? You can see here, and then no, I wasted enough time. I'm going to finish this project and maybe I might celebrate after. Right here in the third panel. And then the computer, and then you see me on the laying my head down as I see on my laptop, it says, your GPU is full. And I say, why is the world so cruel?
Oh man, I think we've all been there.
Yes, it's an issue I'm currently having with my laptop right now. I'm discussing with my parents and some people I work with at an internship about increasing the memory storage on my laptop, which has at least over 200 gigabytes.
Yeah, no, that's I've never been able to get my work to get me my increases in a timely fashion. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
See Umi next.
Hi.
Hey there.
So I did the map out. Do you see?
Oh, that's
Map out
great.
of control zone and well, comfort zone and the scary zone. So for the comfort zone, well, I think you can see some of them because I'm okay with the making bilingual comics because that's what I am. But if I do like monolingual comics, then I feel like I'm leaving some people. I'm terrible at sketches or some things like Procreate. I don't do digital, but somehow I can work it out. So I feel good about it. And others are like my favorite pens. But if I go to like pencils or brushes, I feel extremely awkward. And here are things that I don't really care about good or bad, like bikes and food. Um, I love my cat, but cats and my cat Stucke is really, really hard to draw. And this is here's interesting, like I find it really interesting. Talking about fiction or talking fictionary is all right. I'm actually good at it. I can sell, I don't know, labyrinth, waterproof labyrinth for $8 and I can make up stories about it. But drawing fictions, I don't feel comfortable about it. And writing fiction is, I think, terrible, and reading them is also not good. And here are things like I love drawing cars. I'm not good at it, but I feel so comfortable.
Now we got one
Oh,
person like cars tonight.
yeah, and I am good at drawing nuclear reactors because I have a lot of knowledge about it.
Nice.
But uh, things like comments like, "Oh, I love Japan and Japanese culture," brings me on the boat, and it like brings me to the uncomfortable zone. And this is kind of interesting. I'm very bad at drawing or painting protest banners, but at the same time, I have this like whimsical hopes of like being able to do advertising with like brushes. I don't know where does it come from. And of course, Friday Night Comics is in my comfort zone. So I'm really appreciate that you're doing this. And all things considered, so I'm comfortable with drawing my body. Right now, I broke my sacrum. So I did where it hurts. And I think when when I lay on my belly and look at the anybody skate or bikes or lawyers sitting down on the table, I feel the pain of somebody eating my butt. It's terrible. It's a terrible feeling. And I did everything from uncomfortable zone. I hate drawing cute girls with red um cheeks. I don't like the expression that is so widespread by Ghibli's or Japanese animes. It's dehumanizing women. And I feel like, oh, really sick. Or people eating stuff like food porn kind of things. I'm not into it. I don't know, people with the belly exposed before they go to fight. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I did what I'm culturally trained to do. So even for the person I hate to do, like I hate these things, but I can draw, which is miraculous, I think, education. And I don't like drawing my cat, so that's my uncomfortable zone. And me, which is my body. I feel comfortable. So here's two meeting. Well, here's two meeting. And this looks fictional. Me and my cat being on a bike together, which is not fiction. Like we do this like as long as she is okay about it. Like we go for a walk on bike. So thank you. That's what it was.
Wow, those are amazing, man. Wait, and
Thank
how do you get your cat on the bike? I mean, I have so many questions, but I'm starting with that one.
I can put a link to my Instagram or something, but like she is on my shoulder and I give her an extra rim and she just like, put her face here and like we bike together and
Wow.
we go for a walk.
Please send me a link and yeah, I need to see this.
Thank you.
Umi, I'm really impressed with your bravery and of attacking the things that feel uncomfortable to draw. And it reminds me going full circle to Dana, who does improv. I remember hearing Chris Farley, his approach to improv was attack the stage. And I feel like you attacked the page and committed percent. It's
Yeah,
I
very
don't know. I
impressive.
was watching
that's
too
really
much
helpful.
Mr. Show, and I thought like, well, I can do that. I'll do that constantly, but do I write about it? No. Do I draw about it? No. Like, so I was thinking back and forth. So it's like, yeah, Chris Farley also, but like people, people who do things like you all are impressive and they're motivating. So thank you so much for the Friday Night Comics, as usual.
Well, thank you.
I see Gabriel, Linda, Michaela, and then me. Gabriel, let me see your camera. There it is. I think I just see black. We'll go back to Gabriel. I see Linda.
Hello, everyone. I wanted to speak up for the insects because I love insects. So the first one is I love to bake and to draw cake. So there's cake right in the middle. We started with cake and then geometric figures. So here's someone who says, thank you, cake butterfly, because obviously the cake butterfly is the being that brought her this delicious slice of chocolate raspberry cake.
You one of those.
And then drawing hands makes me nervous, and driving makes me nervous. I don't mind drawing cars, but driving them makes me terribly nervous. So, and this is me driving. So I'm even looking into the back seat when I'm driving. That's how scary it is. I just don't want to look ahead. And it looks like I'm driving to where I grew up, which is terrible. There's thunder and lightning, and there it is. We don't even want to look at that anymore. That's what that was. But I wanted to show you this beautiful dragonfly, so fabulous. Please, everyone, treasure your nature. And there's the sunshine, but this combines the scary things, which is shadows and good perspective. So that shadow doesn't look anything like that dragonfly, but someday I'll learn how to do that. And then my grid of all the favorite things, cake shows back up again. Rex Rover, my first character that I drew all through junior high and high school on every paper. Bees with their beautiful wings and all sorts of stripes on them and cute big eyes. And then I like buildings and utopias. So that's just one building in my utopia, but it's got a tree. It's got, I'm sure, solar panels somewhere and happy people in a group kitchen. So there we go.
These are great. And I do really love your buildings, like even like the house where you grew up and yeah, they have this great, I don't know, like it's wonky, but in like this really lovely, playful way. So yeah, I can see why you like drawing them.
Playfully wonky that's it.
It's a good place to be, you know? Well, thank you. This is fantastic.
Very cool. And I see Gabriel next, then Michaela. I think you're unmuted, but I don't hear you.
Oh, yeah. I don't hear either.
Yeah, but it doesn't say you're muted. All right, we'll come back to Gabriel. Hi, Michaela.
Hi there.
Hi.
I drew a cartoon about Russia. I used to love Russia. I should add that I'm a professor of Russian history. And so I used to love Russia. I was happy there. Oh, this was about 30 years of my life of traveling there every few years. But then Russia changed and I don't go there anymore. And it makes me really sad. So that's it. That's the whole cartoon.
Wow.
You see it? Okay. And I feel bad that I resorted to the octopus thing. It's like such a trope, but it's the only thing that came to mind. So I might redraw this and find some other way of showing Russia swallowing up or trying to swallow up. Here's Ukraine, and Georgia. And I'll probably add more text too. It was such a great place. I studied there. I fell in love there. I taught about it. It meant like a lot of things to me. So thank you. That's it.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, that's rough. I think yeah.
I don't want to make you all sad, but it's just the thing that oh, and I'll show you the map that I drew. It was on that map too.
Oh, that's a great map.
It was that had my what did it have? Russia, some banal things like weed, my parents, the Rhine River, pain and health and stuff like that. But I decided to go with Russia. That was big on my map right away. Thank you. I love this. I love these prompts. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. No, this is a fantastic comfort zone. Yeah, no, I could see how Russia, well, that's yeah.
Well, and Russia loved me back too. It was like a mother, a lover. It meant everything.
That was beautiful. And thanks for going deep, and it's good to see you, Michaela.
Thank you. That's right. I haven't been for a while.
Yeah. Gabriel, do we want to try it again?
Can everybody?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, no, we can't. I don't know what's going on.
We didn't hear that.
We just went from a sound to silent movie. Do you want to hold up what you did so we can at least see it? Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, no, I love the second panel with the kicking motion or the walking motion. That's great.
So I'm guessing the second panel was something outside of your comfort zone, and that looks great.
Yeah.
There's so much fluidity there. Really nice work. All right, sorry for narrating for you, Gabriel. I'm gonna let's go to Alan, who came late, but I guess figured stuff out.
Yeah, I managed to catch up, I guess, by watching the YouTube video, and so I managed to get things. Now, I normally do mine on the tablet. Let's see, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Let me see. I have to do something. Okay, you can share your screen.
Okay, so first my island. So comfort zone, I don't know. I default when I don't know when to draw weird monsters. Also, cartoon faces, I'm fairly comfortable with geometric shapes. Trees, so a lot of my strips take place in forests because I like drawing trees. Scary zone, cars, horses, realistic anatomy, hand lettering. I usually use like fonts for my comics because I hate hand lettering. I don't think I'm good at it. So for the comic, I decided to combine some of these sort of horses, monsters, hand lettering. It all kind of comes together. So, and now presenting the noble centaur, part human, part horse. No, not like that. Definitely not that. Okay, you need to stop. So
I say keep going. I love these. Keep these the series.
okay, so that's what I ended up with.
I'm getting they have the first one especially has like these notes of Shel Silverstein. I love them. They're really good. Yeah, like I said, don't please make more of them.
Are you okay on time? We have a few more hands raised.
Yep, I could stay however many want to keep sharing. Yep.
Okay, cool. I see Dara next.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I did the map and then it kind of fell into the comics.
Oh, it's beautiful.
What was interesting to me was that the comfort zone side was more like fantasy things, and the yike zone was like ordinary things I encounter every day, like people and faces. And yeah, I threw cars in there too because my car drawing ability is still like really elementary level. So then for my 4 panels, I just had them kind of bleed into each other, but it says, interesting how little I enjoy drawing my everyday. So I have people's cars, cool borders, narratives. Well, I love fantasy stuff, and there's kind of like this exploding something or other there. And weirdly abstract stuff. So this is kind of like the roots of the tree, but also not. And maybe it all is just rocks talking and lines colliding. So these rocks that were up here, because I have a hard time with like dialogue, the small talk sort of what to fill the boxes with. So they're blah 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 in the boxes. And so in the end, there's the two rocks again, just kind of talking, saying, "Yeah, hi, how's it going?" Like, so anyway, that's my comic.
This is absolutely gorgeous. I love how everything kind of organically comes together.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
So cool. Thanks for sharing. Christian Toro. If you come on camera. You are. Hey, Christian.
Hello. No. This is basically, okay, this is me. There's some electricities that I'm using. Basically saying, why don't you come join us? Join us. Enjoy yourself. Pleasure yourself. And right there I said this. Become one with us. Freeze your brain. Let it rot. I told them no.
Wow.
No.
Cool. Thank you, Christian. I can share. I will share my screen too. I just emailed. So here's my map. You can see it a little better. But I already showed that.
Yeah. We're sharing again. It's great.
And here's how far I got. I didn't get to the last panel, but I sort of turned it into a comic about talking about these things. So I don't mind digging deep and exposing my raw inner life. Cars and any kind of inanimate object that require understanding geometry are way out of my comfort zone. Faces come easily, but hands and buildings, ugh.
Man, these are great. And that is, again, a great hand. I don't know why people who think they can't draw hands can actually draw hands.
I don't know. It doesn't look like a hand to me.
Yeah, I agree. The house person's fantastic.
What about you, Dana? You did one, right? Can you show what you did?
Okay, yeah. All right. So what I have here. So I tried to smush everything from my comfort zone onto the left-hand side. So I have some buildings and a border and a fish who's saying, "Hey, Clyde." The fish is saying, "Sup." And then I tried to draw some folks drawing in a car, which got abstract. It kind of grows very quickly. And then a fish drawing a car in the third one. And then just my perspective was that wasn't going anywhere. So I decided to just drew like a kind of a whole grid of perspective folks. And then I also ran out of time. So yeah. But yeah, I love all of these. I think if there is there a way we can like folks can like either scan them in or take photos and like I can get them after because I'd love to just examine these more closely if that's an
Well,
option.
I put your contact information.
Okay.
So a lot of people post to Instagram, and if you tag Dana, then she can see what you did.
Mhm.
And then there's an option to send us a page and we'll put it in a PDF and post it on Seesaw Comics.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh.
great. I'm teaching a larger course on the comfort zone in August in upstate New York. So if you guys are comfortable, and I'd love to show examples to my class of some of your maps. So let me know if you share and are comfortable with that. I would love to have them as teaching materials.
Very cool. But before we go, I'm burning to ask, Dana, what is it about fish that comforts you? Are you able to track it?
I think it has to do with The Little Mermaid being very formative when I was growing up.
Oh.
That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, I don't know. They're very soothing. I don't know. The fact that like they're so chill, like so zen. Like I've never seen fish never react to anything. But they also have like these eyes that are super expressive, that are, just like basically circles with a little dot in the middle. So that gives you like so much leeway. Yeah, no, I should really, yeah, I think there's so much there. But yeah, that's a really good question. I should like write more about this.
Interesting. Yeah, make a comic about it.
Mhm.
So this is the time when security allow people, yeah, when everybody can unmute yourself and just thank Dana for an amazing workshop.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana.
Thank you,
So
Dana. Thank you.
beautiful.
Dana.
Very fun.
This was
Thank you,
great.
Dana.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you,
It
Dana.
was fun.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We
Don't
love
forget
the
to share
scary
your comment.
zone.
Yeah, like we saw a
This
lot
was
of
really great.
sea creatures.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Dana.
awesome, Dana.
Thank you,
Thank-
Dana.
Thank you.
Oh, Dana, what was you took it away. I want to do the fourth panel. What was the prompt for the fourth panel again? Let me
Oh,
write it down.
1 second. Let me look it up. Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah, please send me your exercise as well. 1 second. Let me.
Yeah, I just need to. It was a combo of comfortable
Yeah,
things.
something like that. Hang on.
Or was it you were supposed to draw a grid and do like a
That was it. Yeah, it was the grid, and you could just do like whatever you wanted. Like if you wanted to draw a grid of scary things or a grid of comforting things. So if that works with your with where you were going, definitely do that.
no, that'll work. I can do
Okay.
that.
But
All
yeah,
right.
that's a finished project. So when you have it ready to go, please share.
I see Ina. Well, Ina will post it on Instagram. Yeah, a lot of people who didn't share here will share on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I will.
Oh yeah,
All
please.
right.
I'll
Thank
post
you,
it
Ina.
on Instagram.
I can't wait to see what Ina did. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks,
See you
Michael.
next time. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Michael.